What's going on, y'all? Mr. Keto Fast. I want to drop a quick video for you. This one is to help people who have type 2 diabetes, people who are suffering from type 2 diabetes, and also people who have excess body fat who have not been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes yet. Okay. Now, there's a way that you should train or exercise if you have type 2 diabetes. Now, as we know, type 2 diabetes is a condition or a disease of insulin. It's an insulin disease. If you have type 2 diabetes, this means you are insulin resistant. You are insulin resistant, which means that when you eat, your body produces insulin, right? And the insulin is not getting into the cell, is not getting to where it needs to go. Basically, the insulin is knocking on the door and is not being let in. It stays in the bloodstream and it accumulates as body fat. So if you are type 2 diabetic, if you have type 2 diabetes, or if you're somebody who has excess body fat who has not been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, if you have a lot of body fat, you are insulin resistant. And again, type 2 diabetes is a disease of insulin. It's an insulin disease. Now, you were told that you need to exercise. Yes, if you have diabetes, you should watch your diet and you should exercise. But there's a way for people who have type 2 diabetes, who are insulin resistant, to train to help their condition much more. To help their condition. You should train to where it helps you become more insulin sensitive. You want to be insulin sensitive. Whenever your body produces insulin, you want your body to be sensitive to it so that it absorbs it, so it takes it in. When it knocks on the door, you want to let it in. When insulin knocks on the door, you want to let it in. You want to be insulin sensitive, not insulin resistant. Now, how do you train? This is where your trainer comes in. You may have been told you have type 2 diabetes, you need to exercise. You get a trainer. You hire a trainer. You have a relative or a loved one that you exercise with. This is what you need to do. You need to tell your trainer, you need to tell whoever you exercise with, that you need to train to become more insulin sensitive. What is that? You need to do high intensity interval training. You need to do burst training. You need to push it hard, okay? High intensity interval training, burst training. You do not want to exercise in fat burning zone. A lot of times people, when they start their training program, somebody tells them, hey, you want to get on the treadmill. You want to make sure you are in fat burning zone, meaning your body gets to a certain point where you are burning fat. You want to stay there. They say, hey, listen, you want to get on the treadmill. You want to do this. And when you're in fat burning zone, you want to stay there. This is not true. Okay. So you don't want to train in fat burning zone. I know that this is what you've been told. This is what people have been told to do. They want to get in the zone where it said that they are burning fat, and that's where they want to stay at. This is not true. Okay. Although when you are doing this, you are burning fat. You are burning fat. The problem is, after you get off the treadmill or the elliptical or stop that exercise that you're doing, you are no longer burning fat. You are doing endurance training, and now what you're doing after that is you burn muscle, okay? Now, what you need to do is you need to train in sugar burn zone, not fat burn zone. The difference, sugar burn zone is explosive, is highly energetic, is fast, is intense, and is hard, and then you rest. You bring it all the way back down to where your heart rate is normal, and you push it up again for a short amount of time to where you can't hold a conversation. I mean, you go hard, then short amount of time, then you rest much longer than the actual exercise was, okay? This is sugar burn, okay? You want to burn sugar. When you're in a gym training, you burn the opposite later of what you do when you're training. You get what I'm saying? That's how it works. So if you train and you burn sugar for hours and hours afterwards, you burn fat. When you train, if you are in fat burn zone, you're burning fat. Afterwards, you no longer burn fat, you burn sugar. You get what I'm saying? You want to train in the opposite of what state you want your body to be in for hours afterwards. So you want to train and sugar burn zone. You don't have enough time to go in the fat burner zone. It takes a while. That's endurance training. You do it. It's moderate. You do it for a while. Sugar burn zone, you don't have time. You got to get up and go. Boom, explosive. Your body responds. Your hormones, you need certain hormones to push you through the workout. It triggers certain hormones in your body. This way, after the workout, you burn fat for hours afterwards. You want to train in sugar burn zone. What is sugar burn zone training? It is explosive, burst, or high intensity interval training. For example, you do something very hard and intense for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and you rest for a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it takes to get that heart rate back down. You do not do this for long. Okay? This is going to make your body more insulin sensitive as opposed to insulin resistant. Okay, this is how you train if you have type 2 diabetes, or if you're somebody who has an accumulation of body fat and you have not been told yet that you have type 2 diabetes, but you have insulin resistance. You want to make your body more insulin sensitive, and you can do that through training. Okay, how? You have to do high intense burst training. I'm talking about you go hard to where you can't breathe, to where you feel like you're going to pass out. Then you stop, and your recovery is much longer than the exercise itself. Okay, so remember, everybody, you want to train in sugar burn zone. You want to do high intense interval training. This is how you burn body fat. This is how you boost your body's fat burning and muscle building hormones. This is how you deplete your body's fat storing hormones. You become more insulin sensitive as opposed to insulin resistant. If you have an accumulation of body fat, if you are type 2 diabetic, that means you are insulin resistant. You want to be insulin sensitive. Easy, y'all.